Hello, beautifuls, and welcome to another webisode of my story, where I tell my story, my whole life story, in 30-minute webisodes. It's a fictional story. It's not my real story. It's just my story of my life, my fictional story of my life. So here we go, guys. Thank you so much for being here. So I just talked about how whenever we got into our new home in the first year, we celebrated Passover and the biblical holidays, Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, the Feast of Trumpets. And yeah, it was a lot of fun getting to know the Nazarene community in Rav Shaw. And like I said, this community, they look to the stars and they read the stars. They have a biblical way of reading the stars. And one thing, I don't know if I talked about this in another video or not. I haven't edited some of my videos. I'm trying to get ahead of myself so that I have these ready to just throw out. But yeah, Ezekiel, he talks about, you know what, I think I want to get the ring. So Ezekiel talks about the angel, and he's talking about that stuff. And whenever you read it, you read the Old Testament and what the prophets wrote about looking into the sky, even Daniel, where he got his prophecies and stuff, also from his dreams. He was a dreamer, Daniel was. So, but anyway, there's a study of the stars in the Mazaroth in a way where yeah, it's an ancient study, and I really got in depth about the Mazaroth because I've always had a pull towards the stars. And you know, this was like a biblical way of looking at the stars. And whenever you read Ezekiel and his description of the angels and everybody, they take it so literal. I don't know why. The prophets were poets, especially the Old Testament prophets were poets. And whenever you read Ezekiel's description of the angels, and you realize that they're holding the Zodiac. Here's my ring that I have, and this is an ancient device. It's been used by astrologers and astronomers and alchemists for thousands and thousands of years. And I keep messing it up because mine you have to set it. So you see this, and I would put the image of the angel that that we all think that Ezekiel was talking about, and the eyes that are all over. Look guys, there's eyes. I can't really pick it up with the camera. There's eyes all over, guys. There's eyes all over this thing. It's the Mazaroth. It's the Zodiac. This thick one right here is the path of the sun. And then we have the path of the moon against the stars, and there's stuff written on them. There's this has Latin written on it, but it's eyes, it's stars, it's planets. It's the Mazaroth. It folds down to just be a ring. It's the Mazaroth. It's the Mazaroth, and I've studied the Mazaroth. I've read the Bible in a reflection of the study of the Mazaroth, because yeah, there's different ways to read the Bible, you guys. And so, you know, and I had a great awakening, and I went into the depths of darkness, man, and it was crazy. Meanwhile, my husband he's learning and healing on his own. He's coming into his own learning and healing, and he's growing his little bird ranch that he has, and you know, we're kind of concerned about the world events and where everything's going, and it's kind of scary because we're not rich people, we're poor people, and we want to be able to provide for our kids in case of an apocalypse, and we were thinking about that with his little bird ranch and stuff, and he was going to the sale barn. And we were thinking, we decided to get into goats because we were thinking, how will we have milk if supply lines shut down? So we were thinking we want milk. So we were getting into goats and stuff. And I went to the sale barn with my husband to sell some of his birds, and I just fell in love with the atmosphere, the people there. I was so in love with it all. And then we were buying our goats, and I was so in love with my little new baby goats. And I was like, I'm gonna make goat's milk soap. It wasn't just that too. Also, my daughter has eczema, and goat's milk soap helps her. So, and it's expensive. So I was thinking, I'm gonna learn to make goat's milk soap, and I'm gonna start selling it at the sale barn. And I just got way into soap making. But yeah, so my husband was like, that's a great idea. I'm like so happy about it. And I'm so gung-ho about things, and so controlling too. You know, I wanted my kids to get involved with me, and they were helping me make it, but they began to feel like, gosh, Mom, because I was thinking, I have to turn a profit, and to turn a profit, I have to make a lot of soap. And so I'm like trying to make all this soap, but I'm also like going to the store and buying like all these scents and everything, and I'm doing everything wrong basically, but I don't realize it. But yeah, what was a fun family activity of us girls getting together and making soaps and bath bombs became, you know, I became like a harsh leader, like, you gotta make them better than that. And, you know, because they have to sell, and I want them to be worth the money that the customers pay for them and everything. And I ended up going like $10,000 in debt to get this soap shop up and running. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't totally regret it, but it was, I put a lot into it, and I don't mind that. I learned a lot about herbs and stuff. I learned a lot about, I don't know, I learned a lot about self-care, I guess, you know, self-care, essential oils, and how to work with them, and how to work with oils, and work with poisons and stuff too, to make non-poisons. And I don't know, I don't regret it, but I kind of regret it in that the attitude that I took. But at the same time, I'm glad that I took that attitude, because it taught me a lot. It really did teach me a whole lot, because there's no point in pushing things too far, going too far. If I wouldn't have gone that far in debt, I wouldn't have been as scared as I was, if that makes sense. But yeah, I was learning about finances, and taking care of your finances, and just completely blowing it with this business that I have going on. And like, I learned about, I did it wrong, because I took out a credit card in our name and not the business's name, and all the debts on us and not the business. So that was harsh, and my kids didn't want to work with me no more, you know, because I wanted perfectionism out of them, and it wasn't fun for them anymore. And I had two people that kind of wanted to partner with me in this, but you know, I wasn't sure. One, I wanted to because she was so nice. The other, I wanted to because she was really good at business. I chose the business girl, and we just didn't get along, and we ended up clashing heads, and it didn't work. And she did good for a while. I mean, she was selling soaps, you know, and like, that was her job. And she was getting them put in flea markets and places like that, but I don't know. At the time, I was thinking, it takes time. I was really dedicated to the soap shop, and we ended up naming it Rebel Ranch Soaps because we use our goats, and we named our goats after gangsters. We had Thelma and Louise, and then we had Bonnie and Clyde. We bought Bonnie and Clyde, and Thelma and Louise, and so we had gangster goats, and that's, our goat's milk soap, so we're going to be Rebel Ranch. And I bought a website, and I think we sold three customers off of our website. We didn't even make the money back. Like, a website, I would buy a year at a time, because, I don't know, why buy a month at a time? At least give a year and see if it'll go, And no, like, I didn't sell any really on the website, and shipping is just difficult for me. My husband's good at that, though, so, but, I didn't have no Etsy or nothing like that, but, oh my goodness. And I was studying financials and getting into that, figuring that stuff out. That's what I was doing with the child support money, putting that back and trying to make more money for me. And, investments. And I was studying the stars too, because I have a heart for the stars. My love is in the stars. That's where my love is. And it's so crazy, because I remember when it happened. It was about this time of year that I'm recording this, which happens to be February, but I'm recording in February. But it was around February. I had done, my kids didn't want to work with me no more. I done fired the girl, and this is a whole year in the making of trying to build this soap shop up. And I was preparing. This was February, the year that COVID was going to hit. The year before that was whenever I had my Dark Night of the Soul stuff, and which led me into building the soap shop. So it took me, it was a whole year of building this soap shop up. I didn't go $10,000 in debt overnight. It was a process of, I need more lavender here, I need more purple here, I need more blue, that kind of stuff. And now I have everything set up. It's pretty cool. But I literally remember making fun of astrologers and making fun of people that believe the horoscope, as I'm reading this book about the stars and the Mazaroth, and I'm just loving it, and learning to read the stars, really connecting with the moon and the stars and the sun, and, I was making fun of people that believe in tropical astrology. First of all, the sun isn't in Cancer, idiot. The sun is in freaking Taurus over here, while you're thinking that it's in Cancer. You don't even know. I don't even know what tropical astrologers are thinking, literally making fun. I remember, hardcore making fun of them. And this is I don't know if y'all have seen this in following my story. I tried to point it out. I tried to not point it out, but let it naturally unfold. Now I'm pointing it out. That I have this way about me where if I'm making fun of the person and the way that they do things, I'm going to find myself doing it the next year, or right after. And it's really crazy. It really is crazy. I love that, though. I love that. I love that I've lived a life where I was the Democrat making fun of the Republican, and then I was the Republican saying, well, I know why the Democrat thinks the way that they do. And then I was the Christian making fun of the pagan. And then I was the pagan that was loving the Christian now because I understood, you know, like it's an understanding that happens, and I've lived and experienced both sides of many coins. Many coins. Many coins. I was the hippie making fun of the soldier. And, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, then you're the soldier, you're not going to make fun of the hippie because, like, I understand what the hippie was. But now I'm like, man, I was so ignorant. I was ignorant whenever I was making fun of the soldier. Like, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I had no clue how dumb I was. So it's not like I would make fun of the hippie. I love the hippie that I was, and I love where I was and where I was coming from. It's not that I, hate the Christian or anything. I understand that, but whenever I was the Christian making fun of the pagan, I had no clue. I was literally like, guys, Christianity is paganism. I don't give a clunk what you say. Modern day paganism is just like fancy paganism, and Christianity is formal paganism, okay? There you guys have it. Quit arguing. So, whatever. Yeah. I remember I was making fun of them hardcore. Tropical astrologist 1 month before I found Serious Joy. And I remember the reason why I started Serious Joy, and it was because they had an advertisement, and their advertisement was about, do you live a happy, joyful life? Do you want to? Would you like to live a happy, joyful life? If you don't, do you want to? Our service offers you the path to a happy, joyful life. And so I thought to myself, let's try this out. Let's just try it out and see what happens. You know? Let's just see what happens. So, I joined Serious Joy, which I can't recommend enough. I cannot recommend. I've put this to the test. I put Serious Joy to the test, and we're gonna talk about that. We are going to talk about that throughout this, and it's not just Serious Joy. It's like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. They helped me move into the joyful life that I'm now living. Guys, I've hit the jackpot lottery, and it's freaking amazing. And I used that, and I did it by following Serious Joy. So yeah, I was literally making fun of them, and whenever I joined Serious Joy, it happened to be the year of COVID, and I knew that the year of COVID was going to happen because I had gone through a dark night of the soul, and that silent voice told me about that, and it showed me that it was coming. And I think I told the normal people that I would tell, but at that point, none of them believed me because I had fell in the trap before my dark night of the soul. And so how can I explain to them, no, I've been to the darkness and back since then. I know what I'm doing now. Like, because your discernment builds. Whenever you're wrong like that, you follow someone that is wrong like that, and you actually learn from it, your discernment builds, and it strengthens you, and you feel stronger in knowing what is real and what's not. And yeah, so here I am. I'm like, hey, the world's going to be over in 2018. It's all going to fall apart. It's going to be over. We're done. Kapoots. No more. And now here we are in 2019, and I'm like, oh, the world's still going to be here, but a pandemic's about to hit that's going to change a lot. Like, it's going to pause the world. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like a pause, And nobody believed me. And so, whatever. And at the time, I certainly wasn't on YouTube, and I wasn't believing that I should be on YouTube. And I'm trying to justify right now the Bible verse that says, if you know, and you don't say anything, then all the blood's on your hands. So that's what I'm trying to justify right now, because I knew COVID was going to come, and I didn't care. I was like, okay, woo, just keep walking. And another thing, I had just joined Serious Joy, and they were encouraging that type of mindset. Not only was Serious Joy encouraging that mindset, Serious Joy was encouraging facing your fears. So whenever it was finally like my launch of the soap shop, the final launch of the soap shop day was going to be spring, because in the springtime, the sale barn is always booming, and I've been there every year, and well, for 2 years now with my husband with the animal side. Now I'm going to actually have my own little soap shop and everything. You know, just a freaking table with a tablecloth and soap out there with different smells. And literally COVID hits, and the launch day, we're going to go anyway. And we go to the sale barn, and nobody's there. It's empty. You know, like the ghost towns of COVID happened. And even there it happened. And this guy was walking around, and he was like so happy to see me. So he bought a soap, and I thought that was great. Like, he looked like an angel to me. And he was like, I'm so glad that you're out here. And what are you selling? Soap? He's like, that's perfect. And I was like, yeah. And nobody else was out there. So normally you have to pay for a booth, but I didn't, because nobody was there to ask for pay. And you know, some people drove by and they waved, and because I guess they wanted to see what it was like to be in the ghost town, because it was like ghost town. It was really weird. It was crazy. But Serious Joy was teaching me, face your fears and just do it and go out there. And I don't know, we were the only ones out there. My youngest daughter came with us. The other two didn't, but she was having fun, just doing cartwheels. And I don't know, we weren't going to be scared of no COVID. And we continued to go out there week after week, and nobody would be there pretty much. And then it started gathering momentum in the summer, and I kind of was making money, but not really. And yeah, it was really crazy. And yeah, once it started gaining momentum in the summer and they started opening it up, the lady would come by, and I would pay her $5 to be able to, and yeah, I would sell my soap. And we also were, you know, because Serious Joy was talking about, you know, even though it's a pandemic and everything, but they're talking about face your fears and stuff. So I decided to get my whole entire family season passes to an amusement park. And literally we went to this amusement park like all the time, and it's a 70-minute drive from our house, 70 minutes. So, and yeah, we would go and nobody would be there, and we would like ride a ride, and they would be like, do y'all want to ride again? Nobody's in line. We'd be like, yeah, let's go again. We go again. And yeah, it was crazy. And you know, I was like, face your fears, face your fears, face your fears, and go. And it was pretty cool. And then again, by the time the summer got further along, more and more people were coming out. And yeah, we went to the concerts, because they have concerts there. And so we went to a couple of the concerts, with my daughter's first concert, and it was a lot of fun. My youngest daughter's first concert. The other two, I'd done taking them to concerts. And yeah, things were looking up, you know, like Zach's not even a problem in our life, and it doesn't even feel like he can. Because before it was like, okay, Zach, you stabbed our family, and you like stirred up everything, and you hurt your kids really bad. Good job. You really, really hurt us. We forgive you. Let's move on. Let's try to move on and repair. And we would be like right at repair, and then he would come in and stab us again and mess everything up. And now it's like he can't, and he's not going to be able to. And we're moving on. Like, I don't want to say it felt like he was the only thing holding us back, because truly I was the only thing holding me back. we were the only thing holding us back. We allowed him because we loved him and we wanted him to be a good person, and we allowed him to constantly come into our life and wreak havoc, and we weren't allowing it no more, and we were moving on. And I now had found this wonderful service that literally is leading me into incredible, joyful life. So yeah, and well, we'll get to that on the next one. There's more. I thank you guys so much for watching and being a part today. Thank you for making it to the end. Look at you. You're so awesome. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. As always, be blessed with love. As we wrap up this incredible journey together, I want to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you. Your energy, your love, and your support have made this My Story series truly magical. And before we part ways, I want to take a moment to thank you for spending your precious time with me. Your comments, likes, and shares have warmed my heart, and I'm endlessly grateful for the connections that we've built. Remember, your energy has created a unique and beautiful community here at the Mystic Hillbilly. Now, as we venture forward, I feel it's essential to address something crucial. Unfortunately, the online world isn't always filled with positive vibes. There are scammers out there who may misuse my pictures and pretend to be me. Please be cautious. I will never reach out to you first. The only way to get a reading from me is by reaching out to my official email or website. If someone contacts you claiming to be me, it's more than likely a scam. I would never ask you to pay for a reading in that way. Remember, I believe in truth, integrity, and the law of attraction. If you're meant to receive guidance from me, the universe will guide you to me, and not the other way around. Trust the process and let your intuition be your guide. Before we say our goodbyes, I'd like to humbly ask you for your support. As a new YouTuber, every bit counts. If you've enjoyed our time together, consider donating. The links are in the description. And for just $2 a month, you can unlock exclusive content on my Patreon, including Mystic Message outtakes, full moon and new moon card readings, and a 40-day transformation challenge. Your support would mean the world to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. Love, and more love to each of you. Let's stay connected in the cosmic dance that we call life. Until we meet again, stay blessed, protected, and full of positive vibes. That's all she got.